So today here I am to keep you all informed and keep you all aware about what are these signs that you could observe in your puppies, and you could choose the right path so that you don't lead your dogs, your puppies into becoming aggressive dogs. So one thing that I will let everyone know, जो आपको पता होना चाहिए, is that a dog never wakes up one day to give a sudden bite. Yeah, वो कभी भी अपने दिमाग में प्लान आउट नहीं करता कि आई जस्ट वांट टू बाइट द पेट पेरेंट सडनली or the stranger suddenly or anything. There's always a path to the dog being aggressive. So when I say that the dog gives kind of signals or warnings there, what do I mean by that? The main reason, yeah, the meaning of these warnings is basically using the body language. A dog utilizes a lot of his body to communicate and talk with us. So again, when I say body language, what does it mean exactly? Body language commonly अगर आपने देखा होगा कि मेरा डॉग ना पूंछ बहुत ही हिलाता है, which means that he's a very friendly dog, right? So now on, I just want you all to understand that a wagging tail is not always a happy tail. This is the first thing that creates a conflict, because we think that जब भी डॉग पूंछ हिलाता है तो उसका मतलब है कि वो बहुत ही खुश है, right? And that is where we start reading our dogs or puppies very, we actually misjudge them. When you see a dog giving so many signals at a given point of time, then that is when you have to kind of step back and understand that why your puppy is talking like that to you, or why your dog is talking like that to you. Am I actually stressing him out? Am I actually, kind of pushing him to, am I actually creating conflicts? So, uh, a few of these, like I've just listed out a few of these calming signals that the dogs give, or few way that it uses his body to communicate with you, but it is just not restricted to these. It can be a number of them. It can be a combination of a lot of these. It just won't be one of these. It will be a combination. Mind you well, growling is never a punishable act. It's still a type of communication. So you ignore that growl. That's when the puppy again starts thinking that my calming signals are not working, my growling is not working. He's still not stopping. The pet parent is still not stopping, still not understanding कि मैं क्यों ये कर रहा हूँ, that I'm not liking the sound. Okay, whatever reason, the puppy is despising the grooming habit. But this is when the puppy starts thinking that they're not listening to me anyhow, and that's when you see air snaps or the puppy trying to hold back your hand because he wants to stop you using the blower. Or that is when you see the puppy just trying to scare you. Mind you well, he's still trying to just scare you. He doesn't really want to bite you.
This is a ladder of aggression that I've just charted out so that you kind of understand it a little better. So, step 1, 2, and 3 are those subtle calming signals that the dog is trying to give to you, the puppy is trying to talk to you through. So, these all the calming signals that we discussed earlier, it can be a mix of all of these. So, step 4 is just like he'll be actually using a lot of his body in stiff movement, right? Then we actually kind of push our puppy towards step 5, 6, and 7, which is where our puppies choose the path of aggression, right? Still, step 5 is something that I will not call as aggression. He's still communicating. He's still trying to tell you that you please back off. I don't like this dryer and I'm really uncomfortable and you are actually pushing me to face my fear to me. So this is when the puppy now again feels that, okay, I think I'll have to go a little more louder in my way of communicating. That's when you come to 6 and 7, where he's probably snapping at you, showing you teeth, lunging at you, doing all ways possible to scare you off so that you don't come close to him. When I talk about triggers, these are a few forms of aggression that I feel can be really well, if you're very well informed, it can be avoided. It's basically the need to protect their own things. So it can be the toys, his space, his leash, it can be food, but we'll be covering up food separately from resource guarding. Here, I'm largely talking about toys and things that your puppy values a lot. It's not necessary that every dog who's showing these signs will end up being aggressive, but if you've started seeing the signs, then instead of pushing your puppy upward on the path of aggression, will rather want the puppy to be pushed downward or at least stay where he is. Right. So, how do you avoid this behavior? If we have pet owners who have young puppies, please try to puppy proof the house. First things first, you need to teach your puppy to share things. So you don't snatch it back, the puppy doesn't need to snatch it from you. Teach your pup to share things. There are means and techniques that you can teach them to share. Teach your puppy to drop things instead of teaching a paw first. I would really rather want to invest the time in teaching a drop first. Thirdly, he's also doing it at times because there are chewing needs, there are chewing instincts to fulfill. So take guidance of what all could you give as a chewing commodity, but give proper textures, appropriate games, appropriate toys as per your age, so that the puppy doesn't really feel the need to go after your chappals and things that he can steal. Okay, so next is up here we spoke about the resource guarding that could be have been toys and things that the puppy values a lot. Similarly, we see food aggression in a number of dogs, and that also starts at puppy age. Okay, if you see escalated stress signals, if you see him growling at you, if you're just moving around the dog, so it's best to let the puppy be. Okay, it's best that it is where it is. If it has not escalated much, you may try, just be at a distance and just be around, but never push your puppy to accept you around his food bowl. Similarly, you have another segment where your puppy is very touch sensitive. As young puppies, you've not given them kind of a lot of exposure, or while you have to pluck out ticks, and there are certain areas where you see the ticks a lot more. You see that the moment, say for example, the paw is a touch reactivity, the puppy is telling you that I don't like it. Don't force it through. Just hold it and fatafat clean kar dena hai. Don't do it that way. Be very slow. That one paw at a time. Just touch it, take it back. Just try to get a grooming napkin close to the paw and take it back. Use a lot of positive reinforcement techniques at that point of time. Uses treats, uses kind of toys, and similarly, you see the same kind of reactions for your grooming reactivity. What is it? First, identify what is it that your puppy doesn't like. What part of the grooming is it that it doesn't like? And like I mentioned earlier, just include that gradually in his process. Your goal should never be that I just want to step out after giving him an entire bath and giving him, drying him out completely. Last one here is the people and dog reactivity. This happens generally when you have a fearful dog around you, with you, a fearful puppy, and you see that he's not very comfortable facing people or say facing dogs. Call in one visitor at a time. Let the puppy understand that having the visitor around is not a bad thing. The visitor is not coming here to play with the puppy. The visitor is just coming to meet with you. Let him understand that having people around doesn't mean my space being invaded. The last form of aggression that I'll like to discuss, many a times we see in the dogs, is reactivity towards the space or the den or the crate. So the best way out to avoid this behavior ever crawling in your puppy is to, just stop picking up or disturbing them all the time. In case you have to pick them up or wake them up, don't just do scoop them up just like randomly. Make a noise, give him an alerting sign that okay, I'm coming into your area and I'm just going to wake you up